What's up? Rupert here, the Natural Capitalist, coming to you from the site of the very first grounded gathering that we had here 8 years ago. And you can see the system is very well established. I'm doing some gardening, but that's not what I want to talk about today. Today I want to talk about what is happening, the biggest news that's happening on a kind of macro cultural consciousness scale, which is the inauguration of President Trump in America and the shift in consciousness that represents. You may have seen my other video where I said that his election represents the tipping point from green, heart-based consciousness, collective consciousness, feminine consciousness that really started flourishing in the 60s and 70s. That's when that hit at the tipping point. That's descended into chaos with, you know, the basically debasement of the money and woke culture, big governments, its collective feminine consciousness descending into chaos. And what's springing up through that is masculine, integrated, individual consciousness. And we've seen that with the rise of Trump, backed by the likes of Elon Musk and RFK and Tucker Carlson. Think about it, all the biggest entities, brands, names in the world at the moment are individuals. And that's kind of what's represented. But what's going on right now, Trump just got inaugurated yesterday, and 3 days before he gets inaugurated, he launches his own meme coin, like the official Donald Trump meme coin. It is actually insane. So we have the President of the United States embracing crypto, talking about a strategic Bitcoin reserve, and launching his own meme coin, like literally using the publicity and the hype to launch his own meme coin, which shot up like 10,000%, $65 billion market cap out of nowhere, launched in secret. And what this is actually saying, I've been talking about this for a few years. If anyone's done the permaculture training with me over the last few years, when I talk about the alternative economy stuff, this cryptocurrency movement tied to the internet represents this, it's like a phase where anyone can create their own currency. And this is what's happening. But what it's highlighting is that it then asks the question, well, what do we want in a currency? What do we want in money? What do we want our money to do? What functions does it need to do? Right? Because the president of the US using the inauguration to launch a fucking meme coin or a shit coin is a bit dodgy, right? It's super dodgy. And we're going to see this integral, masculine, individual consciousness flourish and descend into chaos within the next couple of years. Because each paradigm, from the throat to the heart to the solar plexus, sacral and below, the phase of each consciousness is on a logarithmic scale. So let's rewind. Green, heart-based consciousness came to flourish in the 60s and 70s. It's been around for decades. That's the time scale. Decades to flourish and descend into chaos. Before that, we had the solar plexus, individual masculine consciousness tied to the industrial era, tied to nation states, tied to corporations, tied to merchants and banking. It's where we started with the fiat currency, right? Banking system, but they were still on a gold standard. That's been around for hundreds of years, right? And below that, we have the more traditional civilization, organizational culture, which is more organized religion. That's been around for thousands of years, right? That flourished and descended. Hundreds of years to flourish and descend for the industrial. Decades to flourish and descend for this global, heart-based consciousness. And now this is going to happen in years. This individual, throat-based, integral, masculine consciousness will flourish and descend into chaos over a period of years. And we're already seeing that happen, right? The President of the United States of America launches a fucking shitcoin 3 days before his inauguration. He uses it. It's basically a scam, but the thing is, it's like a legal scam because it's fully transparent. Everyone knows what they're getting into. It says it on the website. 80% of the tokens are reserved for the insiders. Now, what is this saying? It's saying, well, anyone can create their own cryptocurrency. Anyone can create their own shitcoin. But you're going to have a group of insiders that benefit the most. They get to change the rules. They get to allocate themselves more tokens. And what this is showing is that all fiat currencies, including the Australian government and the American government, is the same. It's the same thing. It's a shitcoin. There's a group of people that sit on the inside, that get to make decisions, that get to manipulate the way, the rules, that everybody gets to play the game, and they're the ones that benefit the most. They get to print and create new dollars out of thin air and allocate that to whatever they think is worthy. And that essentially debases the value of the currency and steals from everybody else. So through this phase, what we're going to all realize, because it's going to become so obvious, it's all a scam. The only thing that we have in terms of money to tie us back to reality, to keep us grounded in reality. Remember, the whole reason I'm on land growing food and building communities, because I want to be connected to truth and reality. From this position, I've dug into money and realized, oh shit, Bitcoin is the best money that we've got, that we've ever had. And if you do the work to understand it, you'll start to see, oh, Bitcoin represents the next layer. It's the ultimate money that we could have that could synchronize everybody, put everybody on the planet on a universal standard when it comes to value exchange. No one can manipulate the code. They can manipulate the price, sure, and lots of shenanigans are going to go on over the next few years as they manipulate the price of Bitcoin when you measure it in a shitcoin, but they can't manipulate the underlying fundamentals of Bitcoin and how it operates. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm thinking about. I've actually written a money guide, a bit of an ebook. It should be out in the next week. It's already written. I've got a few people reviewing it. Just going to set up a landing page. It'll be a free download. If you would like to get your hands on that, just drop a comment in the comments below. Just type guide or something, and I'll make sure that you're one of the first people to get it. And if you're coming to Lovefest at the end of the month at the Grounded Hub, I will be doing a What is Money workshop, where we're going to dive into this question of, like, what is money? What do we need it to do? What do we want it to do? And why is the world flourishing with all these shit coins? And how are we going to come out the other side? All right, that's all from me. Peace.